Alright, folks, welcome back to the radio show. And it's a pleasure to be back. We're going to continue on in our crazy little tale of unenlightenment, I should say. Because that's what it really boils down to, because it's what it is. Was pure stupidity because I was young and I thought I could get away with it. Shows you how much I know, right? Sometimes the best way is to work out the future is to work out issues of your past. But, so anyway, my buddy wrecked my mom's car. Okay? I wasn't even driving. So, Mom, if you're watching this, I wasn't driving. Okay? Smashed it into a curb, busted the friggin' steering arm or some shit. I don't know what it was. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not an expert on auto mechanic colloquialisms, okay? So he ended up driving this thing into a curb because he was a fucking idiot and a numpty at the time. I'm not saying you're a fucking idiot and a numpty now, but I'm saying at the time you were, okay? She drove the car into the curb. Smashed it up real good. Driving down the road. And then, we're noticing it's pulling kind of weird. Everything's acting wrong. Of course, we're teenagers. No common sense. At that point, we should have just parked it in the garage and called the whole thing off. But no, I got a bug up my ass. And I'm like, let's have some fun. Screw it, we're dead anyway. Let's just have some fun because this is the nail in the coffin. But we decided to go to the Honda dealership, right? Because I noticed the hubcap's totally busted in half. And I know in my mind, my mom is going to notice this shit, right? Yeah. So we go to the dealership. I buy another hubcap that matches the other one, same color and everything. I take it outside, I scrape it in the ground. The guy's looking at me like I'm crazy. Scraping the ground, putting sand on it, giving it that kind of like 10-year-old luster or 12-year-old luster. Stick it on there. Of course, we're like, we got away scot-free. We're good. So next thing you know, I got guys making drinks. We're partying. We're having a good time. Got all these schmucks showing up, one after another. Now, God bless you guys, because I know you probably watch the show, but those of you who were there, it was something to witness, wasn't it? The DCH party of 2007? Or was it 6? I can't remember. It was crazy. But we had all these people show up. It went way out of control. How I know this is at first my buddy Andy Cook and my buddy Aaron got along. Until, Andy got drunk and stupid. It's kind of an interesting story. Rizzo, you would have loved to be there to see this because, okay, Andy's drinking scotch and water and beer and God knows what else we're making. We're making like blends of ice with like 18 different alcohols mixed into it. And then you got everybody showing up to the house with this, that, the other thing. Okay? We're all showing up with this, that, and the other thing. We're all partying, having a good time. So here's, it's like by this time, all right, it's after 10 o'clock. We're talking maybe 4 hours into this thing. We're already wasted. At this point, I have no common sense and logic because I'm already impaired. I'm already beyond comprehension of anything that could possibly be going on. And next thing I know, oh, it's the funniest thing because my buddy Aaron, he's kind of like, he and I are sitting there smoking a cigarette by the fireplace, and we're like, oh, we better go and because at that time I was starting to sober up a little bit. Everybody goes through that period where like, oh fuck, I screwed up, and I'm starting to sober up. It's either I drink more and forget about it, or I try to regulate and try to save this thing. So I'm trying to regulate and save this thing. Buddy Aaron and I are going through the house trying to, get everybody calmed down so the cops don't show up, whatever. So, here's the moral of the story. It was wrong. But, here's this buddy of mine, Andy. Alright? Or Cook, or whatever you want to call yourself now. Call yourself Liberace for all I care. I don't give a shit, buddy. But you go in there, and my buddy's got this friggin' jar of what was it? The lighter fluid, right? For the barbecue grill, and the fire's going out. We got 2 fires going, okay? Actually 3. We got one on the barbecue because I'm making burgers. We got one downstairs, and then we got one in the upstairs hearth, right? And the one on the upstairs hearth starts going out. So Schmuckball decides to take this thing of lighter fluid and squirt it into the fire. Right? I mean, like half a bottle of this shit, right? Schmucking idiot. Dude, smack yourself here closer, okay? Just do us all a favor. Hit yourself here closer. I love you, buddy, but smack yourself, okay? It was a dumb idea. And you were too incapacitated to realize anything else because you were talking like Winston Churchill on crack, okay? So he grabs this thing, squeezes it in there, boom. I mean, we had like literally an 8-foot fireball shooting out of the chimney of my house. I mean, tell me, you think that wouldn't attract some attention? Okay? On top of that, we got probably 50 high school students packed into this place, drinking grain alcohol, beer, and smoking whatever they can get their hands on. And we're thinking, no, we're fine. Cops won't get called. We were lucky the cops never did get called, but I still got my ass handed to you on a plate. I'm going to wrap this up because that's an interesting story, but nonetheless, Cook shot this thing up the fireplace. My friend Aaron jumps up because it singed the back of his head because his head was like resting on the fireplace with a pillow. And, he's like, what the man? I'm going to kick your ass. So he's all pissed off. Finally, I get those two to separate. Then this other guy shows up. This other guy I used to like do all kinds of crazy shit with. This guy named Patton shows up. Patton, if you're watching, God bless you, man. But he shows up. He starts talking shit to Aaron because, of course, Patton, he's got a big ego and, he's a good guy and all, but huge ego. Huge. I mean, this guy's got like an ego the size of the Statue of Liberty, right? So, Mr. Patton's like doing this, that, and the other thing, and he pisses Aaron off. And Aaron is my best friend, and he's very hot tempered. He's got a lot of anger issues, right? He's kind of like Joe Pesci on steroids, okay? Imagine Joe Pesci with a claw hammer, baseball bat, a 9mm, a really shitty day, okay? That was my buddy Aaron at that point in his life. It's the best way to sum it up. So he and Nick get into it. I have to separate them so they don't fuck my parents' house up. And Aaron's pissed off because it's like I've lost total control at this point. Because at this point I was like, I'm dead. I know it. I don't care. You know, because I'm already wasted. Everybody's going crazy. The whole thing's coming apart. You got people doing things that are illegal in 7 states in all the bedrooms. You got people, you know, doing a little that and a little that and a little that and this, that, and the other thing going on. You've got craziness because you got one guy that can't stand the other guy and they're about to go into it. So I have to get in the middle of these and I'm wasted. I'm getting and Aaron's like, all right, dude, for you, whatever. Of course, Nick. Now, granted, we all used to hang out together after that. We all, you know, sobered up and realized we were schmucks. But Nick was like, oh, fuck no, you know. And Aaron got pissed off. Goes upstairs, punches a hole through the wall. I end up having to cover this thing with a painting, okay? And then patching it up years later. But it's another story. All I'm saying is things can get out of hand pretty quickly, and that's no bullshit. That's a true story. You can't debate that, Mr. 1975 or whoever the hell you are that think you're all high and mighty. Because you know what? We all go through these phases. And it's Monday, and I felt like going through nostalgic kind of stuff instead of dealing with numpty stuff. I'm sick of dealing with numpty stuff. You know, with Obama and Reid and Pelosi. It's the same shit, different friggin' taco, okay? God. I'm gonna break. It's every time I turn on the news or the internet, I see that fucking idiot staring back at me going, oh, I'm gonna fix the problem. Which brings us into our next section of me getting disgruntled on Monday. And we'll have a very interesting show for you tomorrow, folks. I can guarantee that. We'll try to make it interesting. I'm going to do news of the day, but I just can't do it. So I decided to do an hour-and-a-half long monologue about shit that really doesn't make sense to anybody but those who appreciate a good story. Okay? That's what it boils down to, is those who appreciate a good story. Because, you know, I think everybody tests those limits. Do we not? I mean, seriously. Did you not throw a party at your parents' house when you were in high school? Or at least think about it. Or participate in a party that was thrown at somebody else's house because you didn't want to get caught at your own or something of that nature. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. We'll be back after this break.